Hey everybody, it's Byron and Shanda with Musical Miles Podcast. We wanted to bring you up to speed with what's been going on. Last week, every week we post a new episode Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Last Monday, Wednesday, and Friday we reposted episodes from our interviews with the songwriters for the Las Vegas Songwriter Festival. Well, today is Monday the 25th. We're driving back from Las Vegas. That event just ended yesterday. We spent one more night in Vegas just to kind of try and recoup. We've had a crazy busy week, but if you haven't heard me say this, I've said it on a couple of other occasions. Don't trust me when I tell you that a Songwriter Festival is one of the coolest live music experiences that you will ever have. Don't trust me. Ask Miss Shanda. She's experienced it herself, as did another couple hundred people this weekend, which isn't very many, right?
Nope. It was amazing.
What an amazing event. And thanks, first of all, we need to thank Rob Hatch, Matt Warren, Rob's incredible staff and all his people that are involved, and Mike Eversong, and all of the songwriters who participated. Once again, this was an epic Songwriter Festival.
Yes.
50 songwriters with well over 300 number ones. So it started off on Wednesday. We got to town Wednesday afternoon, and they had a little kickoff deal at Las Vegas Harley-Davidson.
Yes.
And who was there? Do you remember?
Yeah. Rob Hatch, Matt Warren, and Justin Wilson.
All
played.
They played and sang.
And then they had, I think there was some of their spouses, and then we got to meet a wonderful couple from New York.
From Long Island. From Long Island. Our new friends, Alan and Ellen
yes.
Herrick. Wonderful people. They had have been following the podcast, had watched several episodes, and reached out to me and told me that they were going to be there. And we kind of spent a little bit of time with them every day when we could. Share a lot of love for the same artists and the same songs and the same music. But what a cool deal. And they actually won the guitar given away. Alan won the guitar given away. And then he, at the Harley shop, and then he packed it around all weekend and had every songwriter autograph it, which was way cool. And you guys know we do that as well. The only ones who autographed our guitars were artists that we interviewed. So, but that being said, so then Wednesday night, nothing happened, right? And then Thursday.
Yeah.
So Thursday, we actually started out and did an interview with a local artist that his PR team had reached out to us. A guy by the name of Eddie Delmonico, and you're going to want to watch that episode when we post it. Cool guy. Eddie's 72 years old, and he just went into the recording studio for the first time at 70. Still works a full-time job, but does some gigging. But here's the crazy thing. At 70-some years old, he got invited to play the Grand Ole Opry.
Wow.
And Eddie played us some music and told us some stories, and it was a lot of fun, and it was a cool experience. And we were still trying to figure out where we were actually going to do our interviews. There was a little miscommunication. Not blaming anybody, because they all stepped up and really came to the table for us. Thank you, MGM, and the Mandalay, and all your team of professionals there.
Yep. Laura, Jackie, and Sina.
All worked very, very hard. Steve, they all went to work to find us a place to hang our hat for the weekend and do our interviews. And so we did our first one, and then we kind of just checked out all the venues. Now, at the Mandalay Bay, this Songwriter Festival, as most of them are, have several venues where the artists perform. Right. So tell them what they had.
They had the Bluebird Cafe.
which essentially is
the House
of Blues. But they set it up to replicate the Bluebird Cafe from Nashville.
Yeah.
Even with the awning, it was cool.
And the manager from the Bluebird Cafe came
and introduced all of the songwriters.
Hostess,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
MC.
She emceed all of those events at what they called B-side, which was the Bluebird Cafe.
Yes.
And so that was one of the main ones.
There was Eye
Candy, which is kind of right in the center of the casino. And then there was also Rhythm and Riffs. Is it Rhythm and Riffs?
Riffs, yes.
And then there was the Cove.
The Cove.
The Cove was downstairs. One of the deals, and then they actually also had the House of Blues main stage or theater.
Night.
Their theater was on Thursday night. Was who?
Lee Bryce.
What a deal!
Who had several songwriters come out and join him that either wrote or co-wrote with him songs that he has recorded. It was amazing.
That's exactly right. And then not only that, Lee Bryce is actually a partner in, as my understanding, is a partner in Pump House Records, and so is Rob Hatch, as well as Alicia Hoffman, who is married to Rebecca Lynn Howard. They were both on the bill this weekend and performed in some of the songwriter rounds. It's just, there's so much talent there that would scare you to death, right?
No, well, I don't think scare you. It's just amazing how approachable and kind and that these songwriters are.
I've been posting pictures all weekend, and some people have commented and said, "Wow, that's really cool. You get to meet these people." Listen, everybody that was there got to meet these
them.
people.
That's right.
Got their pictures with them. Got to stand and talk or sit at a table and visit, and talk about music and talk about life and talk about their families and their kids and where they're headed to next. These people put on their pants one leg at a time, just like you and I do, and that's what I'm telling you. You can go to now there are performers there that are not only songwriters, but big time performers, had record deals, such as
Eric Pasley.
We got to sit and interview Eric Pasley. These are interviews that are coming, guys, on the podcast. So you need to, if you're not following us or you're fans of these guys, make sure you follow so you don't miss them. And subscribe. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you get notified when they come out. But Eric Pasley, who is an incredibly talented songwriter, had multiple number ones with other artists that he wrote. Okay? And then Jared Neiman. Jared Neiman's another talented performer that is a big-time songwriter. And they love the opportunity to sit and tell the stories, right?
And his wife performed yesterday at the brunch, and she was amazing voice.
Now, and I'm here to tell you, of all the events that we attended, none of them were overwhelmingly too many people. None of them. No. And yesterday at the brunch, there was most of the artists had flown home, right? They all have gigs and life and family to get back to, but there was a handful. Bobby Pinson stuck around, Rob Hatch, Matt Warren, Charles Eston, who you guys know Charles Eston. I posted a picture of Shen and I with Charles and his wife, Patty. Cool people. Charles is really famous from the TV show Nashville. Back in the day, he played the character Deacon, but he also has had roles. He played Ward in Outer Banks.
Ward
Cameron. Yeah, in Outer Banks. Most recently, it was my understanding he was also in The Office. He's done a ton of stuff, but a great singer-songwriter, talented guy, and funny. He was fun to hang out with. D. Vincent Williams was there. He co-wrote "Moving On" with Philip White, and That song just gets me in the feels every time I hear it. And especially when I can talk to the men who wrote it. My goodness. That song, it was... You get to hear these stories that you're never going to hear at a concert. Because D. Vincent Williams was literally leaving Nashville. He was done. It had broke his heart. And he was out of there. And he had one last right, this is what they call it, with another artist, Philip White, to co-write one day. And he didn't even want to do it. But you know what? He made himself get out of bed and go to the right. And you know what they wrote? I'm moving on.
Well, and he had already written the second verse.
He'd written the second verse.
They decided that what he'd written shouldn't be the first verse because he didn't want everyone in Nashville to know that he was talking about him.
Yeah, and he just, but what a story and what a success.
Yeah.
And then to have it cut by Rascal Flatts, that guy's was the song of the year that year.
Yeah.
What I mean, we heard story after story after story, but to back up to day 2 was actually it was Thursday morning, wasn't it? Yeah.
What do you count?
The first or second interview. Second interview was Friday morning.
Should we tell them?
Well, who it was, yeah, because they're gonna you guys are gonna want to make sure you're following us.
Okay.
Listen. We got to interview 2 of the most incredible, probably 2, well, number 1, the most influential songwriter in our generation that I know of. I shared this story with a friend of mine this morning, and he said, if it wasn't for that songwriter, that artist would be singing in Bone, Idaho. He'd have never been famous. But I disagree on some levels. But I will tell you, we got to interview Dean Dillon. Dean Dillon wrote 87 cuts. He had 87 cuts with George Strait, and 11 of those went to number 1.
38 with Toby Keith.
He had 38 with Toby Keith. He had songs with Pam Tillis. Fern Gosden. The list goes on and on.
Yep.
He's very dear friends with Buddy Cannon, and thank you, Marla Cannon Goodman, for getting us this interview. She reached out to Buddy and said, to Dean and said, would you sit down with Byron and Chanda on Musical Miles podcast? She said, my dad's had an interview with them, and I've had an interview with them, and they're not too bad. So if you would join them, and what a charming guy, and what a great story. I don't know another songwriter.
What a life.
What a life. Yeah, but I don't know another songwriter that they've done what do you call it? A TV show, a documentary, not a podcast. A documentary about his life and about his songwriting life.
Yeah.
And he told us in his interview some really great stories. But
you'll have to tune in.
To hear the rest of the story.
Yep.
But what a guy! And then we got to sit down with Paul Overstreet.
Yeah.
Paul Overstreet is another one.
Yeah.
He has over 12. I think he has 12 or 13 number 1s, and he had of his own. Yep. that he has written and sang on his own, and then he had number 1s with Michael Martin Murphey, Randy Travis. Oh my gosh! In fact, here's another story about a guy gonna leave town. So who was it that told us? Oh, was it Dean?
No, it was Billy Montana.
Oh, Billy Montana. Billy Montana said he met him.
His wife was cutting.
That's right. He said Paul Overstreet's wife was cutting my hair back in the day. He said when I had hair, and Billy's a sweet guy. Anyway, he's telling the story about how this lady he said, well, what's your name? She said Overstreet. And he said, well, are you related to this Overstreet? She said, no. He said, my husband is Paul Overstreet. He's a singer-songwriter. Been here for a little while, but she said, I think we're going back to Missouri. We're done. And he goes, what? She goes, well, he had some cuts with a new artist. We don't know how this is all going to shake out, but if something happens there, then we might stick around. But we're really planning on just loading up and going home. And he said, well, who's the artist? Randy Travis.
Yep.
Now, you all know the rest of the story there. Randy was an amazing rock star in the country star world. So, Paul Overstreet, what a great guy. Teton Guitars had shipped a brand new gut string guitar to me in Las Vegas for Paul Overstreet. So that's how we baited Paul into sitting down with us. But he was great. He was more than happy to sit down with us. But thank you, Teton Guitars and Due West, the band Due West. And look, boys, I'm wearing your T-shirt on the drive home. Tim Gates had called and said, look, I'll come there and deliver the guitar to him if you need. And I'm like, I'm not afraid to talk to Paul. So anyway, nonetheless, we got to, I had to go on a pretty good hike to get it. But
it was worth it.
It was worth it. It was worth it. What a guy.
Yep.
Then who else did we interview?
We interviewed Billy Montana.
Billy Montana, 5 number ones.
Eric
Pasley, and I'm trying to remember how many number ones Eric has. A bunch, and he's written big hits for other artists. We interviewed Stormy Warren, guys. I saw that Stormy Warren was coming in to do part of the interviews, live interviews at the Songwriter Festival with the artists on stage at the Bluebird. And Stormy, I've known about Stormy for many, many, many years. He was on GAC. He's been on the Nashville Network. He was on America.
He said 40 some years.
Yeah, 43 years he's been in the.
He's been working since he's 13.
Yeah.
He got a job
broadcasting.
Yeah.
And
at the radio station.
What a talent and what a knowledge,
And what a just nice human.
Just a peach of a guy.
Yeah.
So I had reached out to Stormy when I saw he was going to be there. I thought, man, and he also does a podcast. He's now on the 615 with Garth Brooks. Garth Brooks owns that network, and they work together and on the daily. And he said that I saw he was going to be there, so I reached out to him for an interview, and I didn't hear anything back from him. But when we got here, I said to Mike Every, hey, I want to interview Stormy Warren. And he said, oh, there you go, turning the tables, interviewing the interviewer. And I said, absolutely. So we made it happen, got to meet him immediately. Once again, these people are accessible. I walked into one of his shows there at the Bluebird. He got done. I walked up and said, hey, Stormy, I'm Byron with Musical Miles Podcast. He said, I hear you've been looking for me. And I said, I have. And he said, I'd be happy to join you on your podcast. What a great guy. And we just had a great visit. So, who else?
Paul Jenkins.
Paul Jenkins. Tennessee Orange with Megan Maroney. He also wrote Suds in the Bucket.
Yep.
For Sarah Evans. And lots of other ones. But good guy, really cool guy. And he's born and raised in East Texas. But been in Nashville for many, many years. Was a production guy initially, production and sound. That was what he wanted to be involved in until he kind of broke into the songwriting side of things, and it's worked for him. So you want to hear the full stories. With the exception of Paul Overstreet, Paul's was shorter than any of them. We typically, if you follow us, we typically do about a 30-minute podcast. And Dean Dillon's was right at an hour. So was Eric Pasley's, Billy Montana. Those guys were so easy to talk to and so gracious. And so, we got to visit with almost every artist that we had interviewed before getting here. We got to see Rob Hatch multiple times. We're going to have an update with Rob Hatch and Mike Every coming up in a couple of weeks. They asked me to give them 2 weeks to get home and unwind their minds and relax a little bit. and they can get the numbers and figure out what happened here. But very excited with the results from this Songwriter Festival, and I don't know what else to tell you. It just couldn't have been any better. What could have been better is we could have seen them all. We didn't get the chance to see them all.
Yeah, or we got little short
little clips
for a few minutes.
We got to hear maybe play one song or a part of a song, and then we had to go do an interview. But I wouldn't change that either, because what a cool experience to get to sit down face to face.
I think the only thing I'd say is just be careful what you say, because songwriters are listening to your conversations.
Yeah, they said they mentioned that throughout the weekend. Be careful what you talk about your life, because it could end up on the radio.
That's right.
Because they get a lot of their stories. Dean Dillon, and you got to watch the whole episode, but Dean Dillon talks about going to a bar and sitting in the corner by himself just to listen, to hear what people had to say about what was going on in their lives with their wives or their kids or their jobs, and lots of great ideas come that way to these guys. They'll hear someone just say something and they'll go, that's a great title for a song. Write that down.
We heard several of those stories where a person said maybe 3 words, and they turned it into a song.
Well, and how many of them would show up to a co-write with other writers and say, okay, what are we working on today? And they go, well, I have this title. And they spit out a title and they go, okay, we're writing that. We're going to write that. If you love music as much as Shen and I do, you're missing out by not going to a Songwriter Festival. Now, I'm going to give you the heads up. In 2 weeks, the 19th...
The Valley Music Festival.
Okay, first 2 weeks. First 2 weeks, we're going to the Valley Music Fest. We get a weekend off, kind of, sort of. Next weekend... This coming weekend, we got the Eastern Idaho State Fair. We might go see the horse races and eat some good fair food. And then the weekend of the 18th, the 4th, 5th, and 6th is the Valley Music Fest. And that's going to happen in Sun Valley, Idaho. 50 bands. So there's a great opportunity if you just love live music, and they have everything from headliners. Our first night, Thursday, Baker Blankenship, 19-year-old internet sensation who wrote some songs and put them on TikTok, and he is now world famous and headlining his first shows this summer. I think he headlines Red West Fest coming up in Salt Lake as well. So Baker Blankenship on Thursday. Friday is Josh Malloy, another very talented singer-songwriter out of Texas. And then Shane Smith and the Saints, who are probably our top 5 of all live music shows ever. Shane Smith and the Saints giving 110% every time they step on that stage. I've never seen a bad show, and we've seen them at least a dozen times, at least. From Key West, Florida to Stanley, Idaho, and Colorado, and anyway, they're great. So, and then we do the next weekend. We actually get. Oh no, we're working on another on the 10th. We are working on an interview with another great artist. I don't even want to say, because if I say, sometimes I say and they don't come and they don't happen. This one, I'm not going to tell you who it is, but we are excited. We as the podcast grows and we get to know more and more artists and songwriters, our spider web reaches a little deeper, and it gives us some really cool opportunities, and we are really, really excited about this one. So hang tight, be watching. This one's coming up. And then here comes the Songwriter Festivals. You ready? Whitefish, Montana. Whitefish, Montana was the second Songwriter Festival that we attended since starting the podcast. The first one was Livingston, and this one is in Whitefish, Montana, and it is hosted by Carrie Klepper and Joe Smith, a girl named Joe. And a girl named Joe Smith had a couple of record deals in Nashville, lost them, but she later got married, moved to Montana, has a young family, but has gotten active again in the music industry, hosting some of these projects, and she's just as sweet as she can be. You can go back and look at our interview with her from last fall. But on the bill there this year is once again Marla Cannon Goodman. Love her. She's the greatest. She's helped us a ton so much. Bryce Long, another super great songwriter, wrote a lot of stuff for Gary Allen and for John Party and for Reba, and worked for Reba. His podcast is there. Yep. And you never know, we may interview him. Well, we are going to interview some of them again because of the deal. They've asked us, thank goodness, and I'm so thankful to these great people. Mike Booth invited us to interview artists on stage at Red Lodge, and that was so much fun. And now we get to do that essentially again in Whitefish with Carrie. They have coffee and conversation on Saturday morning and Sunday morning for an hour and a half. And I think there will be 3 artists that I get to interview, up and coming artists, and then a major successful hitmaker songwriter that we'll get to interview. So that on both mornings. But one of the great songwriters, Hall of Fame songwriter that is going to be there this year is Even Steven. And I got to meet Even last year in Livingston. Did not get to interview him. He agreed to an interview, and but we ran out of time. So I'm excited to hopefully get to sit down with Even and get the full-blown interview. That guy's he's got some stories from way back. He wrote one of the best hits ever for Dr. Hook. When a man loves a woman, is that what's it called? When you're in love with a woman. Beautiful woman. That's it. I apologize, guys. My titles I have to count on the producer. You know who else is going to be there? We are so excited about this one.
Maybe shouldn't say.
No, I'm going to say it.
Okay.
Aaron Ratier. Aaron Ratier was in Whitefish last year. We got to meet Aaron, and he agreed to an interview, but
it didn't work out.
It didn't work out. So, but this year it's going to work out, and we're full-blown Team Turtles with Aaron Ratier. Yes. Aaron, we're coming for you, and we're even dressing for the occasion. So, that being said, if you don't know who Aaron Ratier is, he had 2 number 1s in the last year. He co-wrote with Riley Green and Miss Ella Langley. They wrote You Look Like You Love Me. And it is hilarious when he does his version of it. And to tell the story of how it all came about is amazing. So, and then he also wrote
the Armadillo song.
Right, but that wasn't the number 1. But the Armadillo song is one of our favorites of his. But you got to go look it up. Miranda Lambert cut that, and it's available. Great song. And then he also wrote 4x4 by You with Lainey Wilson. And he is a Grammy nominated. He is I want to say Song of the Year nominated. He's had several nominations, but he also was one of the co-writers with the movie. Come on.
Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga. He co-wrote with Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper for
oh my gosh, I got so much stuff going through my head right now.
And now you know how I am. That's why I get lost sometimes.
A Star is Born.
A Star is Born.
Yeah.
This guy's got so much talent, it's scary. It's not scary, it's just, we just love it. Amazing. It is amazing. So, all right, and then the next Songwriter Festival is Mr. Mike Booth's Songwriter Festival in Livingston's coming up. Livingston Songwriter Festival, and that is October 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And that is in Livingston, Montana. So if you're anywhere in the Northwest, you need to figure out how to get tickets. Their tickets are available. Go buy tickets and go to these shows and listen to these artists, and then go up and shake their hand and get a picture with them and talk to them about their music and tell them how much you love their music and how it has impacted your life. These songs that Dean Dillon wrote have been the songbook of our life. I mean, literally, we have been George Strait fans since the late 70s, early 80s, and Miss Shanda and I have been together since 82. So we've heard them all. And to finally meet the guy that wrote them and to hear the stories. Anyway, hope we haven't bored you too bad. There's a lot of stuff going on in our world, folks. We've got a busy fall. We're headed back to Vegas again in December. Currently, we have plans to go back to Texas in October. We've got the invite to Red Steagle Cowboy gathering in Fort Worth in the Stockyards. There will be a lot of stuff going on with that. That is the 21st. No, I think it's right there. 22nd, 3rd, and 4th of October in the Stockyards. We've got a list of artists that we need to interview in that North Texas area, and more even in Austin, San Antonio, New Braunfels. We got a lot going on, and so we're trying to figure out how to make this podcast pay its way instead of us paying for the podcast. So I'm shamelessly asking for sponsorships. Anybody interested in advertising with us? We can help you promote your festivals. We can help you promote your venues. We can help you promote an event. We can help you promote your product. We're accessing a lot of people. We're getting lots of views. So if you're so inclined and you're looking for somewhere to promote your products, let us know. We would be more than happy to have that conversation with you.
And don't forget to click the subscribe button. And just because you click a subscribe button does not mean that you're going to be charged or have
pay.
to pay.
You're not paying for anything.
It's just that you like us.
Yeah, but we may have to go the way of some of the other podcasts and set up a Patreon to help you guys. You guys help us. So we'll see. But anyway, we are so thankful for those of you who are following us. Share us with your family and friends, and don't forget, we're on all streaming platforms. Go look us up. You can find us on iTunes. You can find us on Spotify. You can find us on Audible. We're on Buzzsprout. There are formats out there that I can't even tell you about, and we're on it. So, but thank you for your support. Thanks for watching us. We will see you somewhere down the road. Adios for now.